I got a green light. Good morning. Good to see everybody this morning. So if you know me, I like to start on time and end early. So that is prime objective number one here this morning. So glad to see all of you. Very excited about a new semester here. I got to say, for me, the first day of school, and I'm calling this the first day of school because it's the first day we all have to be here. One of my favorite days of the year, right up there with Christmas. So I love this, and I'm excited about what we're going to be able to do this year. I'm excited about the students whose lives we're going to be able to impact this year. And you're going to hear from a few of those a little bit later on this morning. We'll have our student panel. So congratulations. Dr. Rhodes and I are very excited that all of you have come back, and hope you got some breakfast. If you're a breakfast eater kind of person, it was some good stuff. Good bacon, so that made it all worthwhile. So what we're going to do this morning, if I can get the clicker to work. Here's our schedule for this morning. We're going to kind of run through what we're talking about, do some introductions of new faculty and staff, some recognitions we're going to have this morning, then do our student panel, and then what you've all been waiting for, of course, Dr. Rhodes is going to come up, give us a little bit of an update about what went on and how it impacted us from the legislature earlier this year, and some implementation issues, updates on our strategic plan of Bold New Vision. And if we get out of here on time, that's going to be up to Dr. Rhodes. So we'll see how that goes. So great. So we're going to start out now. We're going to introduce our new faculty and staff. We have a number of these. So we're going to try and go through this in a fairly expeditious manner. So as I call your name, I'll give you just a quick second. If you just want to briefly stand up and give the royal wave to your colleagues, your new colleagues, that's the way we'll run through this. So we're going to start out with faculty. Now, some of these, we're calling them new faculty because maybe they were part-time and now they moved into a full-time position, or maybe they were in a visiting position and now they're in a regular position. So some of these you might say, that's not new faculty. Well, according to HR it is, and who are we to buck HR, right? All right, so here we go, our new faculty members. Our first one, Dr. Gabrielle Araujo. How close did I come on that? Dr. Araujo, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that gentle correction. Dr. Araujo, happy to have you here in music. You'll be providing some musical accompaniment for us later on, I hope? No. News to him. Dr. Michael Compton, Assistant Professor in Management. Michael here this morning? Michael has been here already for a while, so he's not technically new. Dr. Matthew Flincham in Clinical Mental Health Counseling. There he is, Dr. Flincham. You can clap if you want. That's totally allowed. Dr. Vitor Goncalves. Did I do good with that? There he is in Criminal Justice. Dr. Goncalves. Dr. Brian Johnson in Accounting. Is Dr. Johnson here this morning? Not? Okay, that's great. Dr. Teresa Libios, Clinical Mental Health Counseling. Okay, not everybody's going to be able to be here this morning, I'm sure. Miss Roxanne Perez, Criminal Justice. And I know Dr. Rock is here, Dr. Joshua Rock. I saw him going, here he is. Glad to have you on board, Dr. Rock. And Dr. Judy Schaefer is here, I know. There's Dr. Schaefer. Hear more about her later. She wants to come up and say a few words. No, she doesn't. Just teasing her. She absolutely doesn't, but that's great. She's moving into a tenure track position this year. Dr. Shisha Shahid in psychology. There she is, Dr. Shahid. And Mr. Joshua Wilson, who we're stealing away from Temple College. Mr. Wilson, there he is. And Chester Zhang, who's been with us but classifies as a new employee. Is Chester here this morning? Okay, that's our new faculty. Got a couple of pages of new staff here. I don't know who this first person is, but they're here somewhere. I don't know how. And Miss Carly Leisure is here. Carly, there she is. Enrollment Services. Miss Tamika Lewis, also in enrollment. Is Tamika here? Okay. Some people are actually working while we're over here celebrating. So That's kind of important. In our Title IV office, Catherine Crittenden. Catherine here. Mr. Anthony Simmons in Early College Initiatives. There's Anthony. And Ms. Tiana Thomas in the Bursar's office. She's almost certainly working this morning, I would imagine. And Ms. Maya Thomas, Assistant to the Dean in COBA. Maya's probably working as well. So we appreciate those who are. And Ms. Lydia Orozco in the Registrar's office. Those offices are busy this morning. And the one and only Mr. Charlie Ayers, our Director of University Relations. Charlie has got patent pending on his new way of doing the Warrior W. It's not easy to do, but see him. He'll give you lessons. And Mr. Franklin Allure in the police department. Is Franklin here? Is he? He's not here. Okay. He works the night shift. All right. So glad to have him. Page 2, Miss Catherine Whites in COAS. I guess that's also CAS, Arts and Sciences. She's probably busy this morning. And one of my favorite people, Miss Shanika Green. Is Shanika inside, or is she still checking people in? She's right here. Shanika, get yourself in here. Wave, wave. Yeah. She's afraid I'll make her say something. You're doing good. Great job. She works in the Provost Suite now and works with Barb and amazing team of ladies. Very happy to have them on board. Miss Karen Jones in Enrollment Services. There we are. Hey, Karen. Mr. James Dalton is our new Director of Military and Veteran Services. There's James. And I will jump order here and introduce Dr. Scott Efland. He's Director of our Military Talent Pipeline. He started last Friday. And Scott, you need to get together with him. So that's part of the things that you'll be doing. Ms. Natisha Johnson. There she is, Natisha. And Ms. Olivia, she may be over holding down the office this morning. Oh, she's right here. Good to have you here. And Mr. Joseph Ryopel. Did I do good on that? All right. Mr. Brian Oakes in Career Professional Development. He's here. Last but not least, Mr. Kendrick Savannah in Contracts. He's not yet. Okay. Good enough. All right. So now we're going to recognize some of our faculty who have achieved certain milestone events in their academic career. And if you're a tenure track faculty member, this is a big day. This is a big day. I remember the day that you finally defend your dissertation is a big day. Even bigger is the day that the thesis clerk says you're okay. Because until they weigh in, you're not really going to graduate. But the next biggest step, I think, is achieving that tenure, being awarded tenure, which is, of course, awarded by the Board of Regents, and concomitant with that is a promotion to the rank of Associate Professor. So for each one of these, I'm just going to have them stand briefly and wave their hands, and you can see the names. Start out with Dr. Glenn Brumbach in our music department. Is Glenn over here this morning? Let's give him a hand anyway. We have Dr. John Kohler in political science. Dr. Stefan Schoberlein in English. Here come our students. And Dr. Daniel Kim in finance. There's Dr. Kim. Very happy to have them on board. Students, y'all come on up. We've got some seats for you up front here. There we go. We also have some other faculty that also achieved a promotion in rank. And we'll start out with the one and only Jessica Robin from the College of Business. I know Jessica's here. She's promoted to the rank of Associate Lecturer. Now for our tenured faculty, the highest possible rank that they can attain is Professor, sometimes called full professor, so that you'll know it's not assistant, it's not associate. Technically, it is the rank of professor in their respective disciplines. And for our colleagues in the library faculty, that highest rank for them is senior librarian. So we're going to recognize those who risen to the level, the rank of professor, as well as the level of senior librarian this morning. We're going to start a new tradition this year. This is something that's a little bit different, a little bit special recognition, because this really is kind of the ultimate accomplishment for our faculty. And we're going to go through these one at a time. And here is our list. And we're going to jump to line number 3 here for Dr. Andrea Swegler, who maybe is with us online today. She's not able to be here, but she has risen to the level of professor of psychology. And you'll see we've got a photograph here. This is a new little item that we're going to be giving out to each of these individuals when they attain that rank. This is something that they can place on their desk. And remember, you know, when they hit that point, this thing weighs quite a bit. So if you have somebody in your office that you need to get out of your office, this would be of some help to you in that regard. So, Andrea, if you're watching this, we hope you can see this. We'll have yours for you, and we will get it to you. The rest of the folks hopefully will be here this morning, and we're going to start out with Dr. Michelle Dietert. Dr. Dietert here. Okay. Well, she's not here this morning, but we will get her clock to her. Next, Dr. Hao Min Chen. Is Dr. Chen here? No, not here either. I know this one's here. This is our senior librarian, Ms. Lisa Hopkins. Come on up, Lisa. It's got a little lock on it and everything. That's cool. Hang on to that. Congratulations. So happy for you. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking. We've got some folks in the audience that are already senior librarians or already full professors. So I want you to know, if you were promoted to either of those ranks for the first time here at A&M Central Texas, since we became a separate institution in 2009, we have one of these with literally your name on it. So I encourage you to come by the provost's office and pick yours up. Now we want to recognize some faculty members that voluntarily participated in one or more of the special initiatives that are designed to help them improve their teaching performance or to give our students a special learning experience that goes beyond just the normal classroom lecture. These faculty members will receive their certificates and their plaques at a later date. Oh, did I jump too fast? All right, I will go ahead. This slide is out of order based on my notes, but we will manage on the fly. Typically at this point, we recognize the recipients. This is my bad. I have it in the wrong order. We recognize the recipients for the Beck Family Senior Faculty Fellowship Award or the Bill Yowell Junior Faculty Fellowship Award for the next 3 years. We're going to do something a little different this year. This is an initiative of Charlie and University Relations. We're going to recognize and honor these folks at our first annual Distinguished Warrior Awards banquet. So that's going to be something pretty cool. That's going to be held right here in this room on the evening of, Charlie? He confers with his team. October 16th. That's going to be a great night. We'll have some representatives from the Beck family and the Yowell family. A great opportunity to celebrate the successes of our faculty with some friends and alumni of our institution and show our appreciation for the generous support that they've given us. So let me get myself back on track now. Okay, here we go. These are the recognitions I mentioned a second ago. These are recognitions. This initial set is associated with the Association of College and University Educators, commonly known as ACU. And we've got 2 individuals that earned the advanced certificate this year, which means they completed both the effective teaching practices and the effective online teaching practices. First one is Samantha Earhart-Laraga from Education. Samantha here? Let's give her a hand. And Kelly Williams from the library. Is Kelly here? She's over helping people check out books. She's down the hall. Okay. So additionally, we had a number of faculty members that completed the effective online teaching practices certificate, And I'll quickly run down the list. Shalini Saini in Koba, she here? Sunmi Lee, she's here, yay. And Margaret's here, I think. Margaret Dawson completed it in the library. Margaret's right up here with the library gang. Depti Gupta in Koba. Ron Lee in Koba. A lot of folks in Koba. Payesh Vyas in Koba. Michelle Shea in library. There's Michelle, yay. And Lavanya Alluri in Koba. Our next set of individuals we want to recognize participated in high-impact practices as Student Success Fellows in 24-25. Our faculty leads for that were Dr. Madeline Schell and Dr. Michelle Shea. Dr. Schell and Dr. Shea here? I know Dr. Schell is here somewhere. I saw her. There she is. Yay! And the fellows here that completed these, Michael Conklin in Koba, Felicia Holloway. Is Felicia here this morning? Jay Kim in Koba. Jay's here. Morgan Lewing, I know Morgan's here in education. Ran Lee in Koba. Ankita Singhvi in Koba. Is Ankita here? And Michelle Quinones in Arts and Sciences. So congratulations to those faculty. And the last faculty in this group are the ones who are being recognized today as Service Learning Fellows. This group was organized by Dr. Lewing, and we have 4 individuals in there. Samantha Earhart-Laraga from Education, Ran Lee from Koba, Praveen Malali from Arts and Sciences, and Austin Vasic from Education. Let's give them a round of applause. We do have another group of faculty that we want to recognize, and I'm going to ask Dr. Cood, our Dean of the Graduate School, to come up and do those.
Thank you, sir. I don't have the mic, so I'll just be loud. Use my teacher voice.
Hang on, we'll get you a mic.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I need it, but thank you. So distinguished graduate faculty, just as a reminder, it is the highest level of recognition for our graduate faculty here at the university. I do not make that decision. The Graduate Council recommends the levels and the criteria to the Academic Council, who approve it through the president. And then when it comes time, they're nominated, either self-nominated or by peers, and their peers on the Graduate Council make the decision. So this is all well-deserved, and we'd like to have them come up. There's a cash award the first time you get it that comes with it, and then there is a medallion that they can wear at graduation. So first,
takes a village.
First, Dr. Christine Jones.
We'll do it official. Congratulations, Christine.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
And she's going to hood you there.
Wow, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, let's wait up here. We'll get all 3, and then they can take a picture.
Dr. Tammy Bracewell.
Tammy here this morning.
And finally, Dr. Y.J. Yoon.
Congratulations, Dr. Yoon. All right, awesome. Thank y'all. Now we're going to take a diversion here for just a minute. This is something you got an email about, and we just want to reiterate that this morning. We're doing a book drive as we did last year. I think last year y'all contributed 123 books, something to that effect. This is a book drive for the students at Pershing Park Elementary School right here in Killeen. Our very own Dr. Judy Schaefer is coordinating this. And that's all. I'm just going to say your name. Not going to make you stand up, come up here or anything. And we hope to have the principal from Pershing Park be here with us today, Miss Jessica Taylor. Is Miss Taylor here yet? She was going to be here. Maybe we've moved too quickly. She was probably going to get here about 9:30, but she's here. And in case you're wondering what this is a book that most of us in the room will recognize. This is one of the books that was contributed last year, contributed again this year. So if you're wondering how does this work, there is a curated list of appropriate children's books. How do you find the list? Well, there was a link in the email that the president sent out. Barring that, we want to appreciate Jonathan helped us get a QR code up here. So we're modern here. If you want to take a shot of the QR code, you can use that, and it'll go and show you the different books. Some of these are Caldecott Medal winners, Newbery Medal winners. If you know anything about children's literature, that's royalty right there. So it's a great opportunity to provide some books for these students in K through 12. And so I encourage you to do that. The deadline for turning those in is a week from tomorrow. So if you order them on Amazon today or Barnes & Noble, you can get 10% off through Barnes & Noble in Harker Heights. If you mention TAMUCT at checkout, they'll give you that extra. So however you might want to do that, we've got boxes here in this building for you to drop your books in. I think it's right out there as you came in. So good stuff, and a great way to help some of these students get going and get them into a habit of reading. All right. Now we're going to move to what all of you are here for, especially these four individuals out front who are kind of wondering what this is going to be like. We're going to do our student panel now. So I'm going to invite our students, come on up and
get up here.
all right, guys. Appreciate y'all cooperating with us on this. And so not everybody in the room knows who you are. And so what we're going to do, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself. And here's how you do it. Tell us your full name. Tell us your hometown, where you're from, and your major field of study. That's easy enough to do. And this is not the first time somebody's going to make you do this, trust me. Tell us something about yourself that we might find surprising, that might not be immediately obvious about you. And I'll go first. I'll go first. They got the questions ahead of time, so this is not quite so difficult. My name's Clifton Jones. My hometown is Houston, and I majored in economics. Something might not immediately obvious to you. Less than 20 years ago, I was racing dirt bikes on motocross tracks across the state of Texas on the weekends with my teenage son. So we'll start here at this end.
Absolutely. Good morning, y'all. My name is Jackson Spencer. I'm a student here in the COBA department under Computer Information Systems. Sorry, this microphone is very sensitive. I have to figure out the volume here. There we go. And what was the other question? Interesting things about me is am an Eagle Scout, and in my free time collect vinyl, and preferably its original 70s or 80s pressings. That's me.
I have a couple of those.
All right, hello. My name's Zachary Witt. I was born in Indianapolis, Indiana, but I've lived in Coppers Cove since 2010. My major is history, something I guess that's not painfully obvious, but you'll go, duh, if I tell you. I play 4 instruments: guitar, bass, drums, and keyboard.
Awesome. Glad to hear it.
My name is Tyler Stafford. My hometown is Temple, Texas. And you guys are very interesting. I'm not. I played, my major is psychology.
There we go.
And one thing about me is that I played competitive soccer for like 10 years.
Awesome.
Hello, my name's Mark Henry, and I was born and raised here in Killeen my whole life. I'm a computer science major, And I guess for something interesting about me, I could say I actually had like a year and a half where I kind of like fell out of going to school at all, but I was able to get help from like a lot of people here at TAMUCT because like I want to be a machine learning engineer one day, so I made sure to come back to school because that's something I definitely want to make sure I have happen for myself.
Awesome, great. Okay, so the first question I have for each of you, and we'll just start down at this end and go that way, unless I reverse it at some point. We're gonna start down here with Jackson. You know, there's a lot of universities, a lot of public universities in the state of Texas. You have a lot of options about where you might choose to go. Y'all have chosen to come to A&M Central Texas. Wise choice, I have to say. A great supportive faculty and staff here, great environment, some great programs. But I'd like to hear from each of you. What was it that really led you to choose pursuing your degree here at A&M Central Texas? We'll start with you, Jackson.
Absolutely. The main thing that drove my attendance here at A&M CT is low barriers to entry, really. I think that's a big thing for kids nowadays. Like Mark mentioned, some of us have been in the school system before, and one thing or another brought us out of it, and a lot of us would like to jump back in. But sometimes when you've broken that kind of train of thought, it's hard to get back on. But this school made it very possible, whether that was taking I personally had quite a few transcripts that needed to be gone through, and they just worked with me really well to see what classes could be plugged in and getting me back on track so that I could have a good path to graduation, which we should be on now.
The main reason I chose this university was a financial concern. It is local, so it's close to home, and it is affordable. Additionally, the history program did appeal to me, especially since they offer Soviet courses at this university. Soviet history being something I was obsessed with in high school, so that caught my attention. But primarily, it was financial reasons that led me to choose this university.
Thank you.
Y'all have all great reasons. Some of those were mine, but I chose this school because it is a growing school, and the classes are small, and I tend to thrive, at least in our program, our classes are a little small. I thrive in those classes, and like I said, it was growing, so there's room for change and growth.
Okay, so for me, I was actually part of early college high school here, and I was actually in the first graduating class, and a big thing with being over there was like it kind of, with how closely tied, of course, they were with CTC, it kind of made TAMUCT seem like the next like normal, obvious step for if you graduate from there, for like where you would go. And I mean, on top of that, my house is actually like 5 minutes from here off the highway, so it makes it really easy. Cause yeah, I'm like right down the street.
Awesome, great. We're so happy that all of y'all are here and look forward to great things you're going to do once you graduate and get out there into your careers. So y'all have taken several classes here, all of you, and you probably can think back on an instructor you had that you really enjoyed that class. Maybe they weren't the easiest instructor, but, sometimes it's hard to pick your favorite instructor, but do you have a favorite instructor or one you'd like to kind of give a shout out to as you've gone through your time here? And maybe they're in the room and maybe they're not, but I'll just kick that out. Any one of y'all got one that you want to jump in on that?
Jump in, go for it, Mark.
Go ahead, Mark.
Maybe it's because like I'm a little biased towards math because math has always been my favorite subject. So all my favorite teachers have always been math teachers, but my favorite teacher has always been someone who I've had both at CTC and A&M as well. Dr. Crusili. I've had her for algebra, statistics, calculus, linear algebra. I've had her for a lot of math classes. And I think my favorite thing about her class was definitely like how helpful she was with like putting out her video lectures online because, like, of course, we would go through the textbook a bit and learn from there. But I think having the video lectures to go through and being able to go back and forth between that and the homework made it feel a little more personal, and it made it feel easier to get through the classes. And on top of that, C would host these like hours where like you can just come in online to just go get tutoring help. So it was easy to just join that on the online software they use for that, ask a few questions, get that answered, and then you're just good to go for the next test.
Anybody else got one you want to recognize?
So I feel like you shouldn't have asked this question in front of all of them.
All of them.
So all of my professors I've had have been great. I love all of you guys. Thank you for everything you've done for us. But my favorite is going to be Dr. Clark. Because, so I am not a math person at all whatsoever. So when I found out I had to take statistics, I was really scared. And Dr. Clark, I've had him in previous classes, but I feel like for statistics, he takes it above and beyond when it comes to his PowerPoints. And it just kept me engaged, and it made me want to go learn math, which is not something I've ever done.
All right.
So I'm biased toward history professors, obviously. I have no major grievances with any of the professors I've had for any of my courses.
Not the question I asked, but good to know.
I've liked all my professors. I don't have a favorite. That's a difficult decision to make.
Sure.
But I really like the history professors here especially, so.
Awesome. Glad to hear it.
And then I'm just going to go a little bit with a laundry list here, y'all. I've had a good time. I'm first year here. Definitely when I stepped foot on campus, one of the first professors to make an impact on me personally, it's probably not a surprise to y'all, but Professor Robin is just such an influence on this campus, and she's really great to have, y'all. She makes the COBA school, all of that business that can seem very cold and calculated, very humanized and personable. I think that's one of the biggest strengths, but I've had just so many good teachers here, y'all. Dr. Almond I just had for business statistics this summer. He probably doesn't know because he had hundreds of students or so. But amazing online course. Professor Lee in the marketing department. Professor Loafman I had last semester was outstanding. I had Professor Meside who stepped in and taught a data analytics class and really helped us out understanding some of the finer points of Python. I'm trying to think so I don't miss anybody, because now that I've started naming people, I have to name them all. And I did have eyes on them, and now some of them have moved. Professor Abshire, of course, my boss, and he's laughing. Let's see, do I have anybody else? Anybody that teaches an in-person class here, y'all, we really appreciate it. To take your time to just be in the room with us. That's who I wanted. In the CIS department, Professor Vyash and Professor Ilari are both excellent lecturers for that. Some of those more technical parts that are really hard to get down and make understandable separate from those PowerPoints. But they do a great job. So thank you, y'all.
Thank you, Jackson. So, next question I'd like to ask you is, y'all are at different points in your academic career here. Some of you just started, some of you maybe are getting close to the end. I'm wondering, is there one thing that you've learned since you've come here through your studies that has really made an impact on you? Now, this could be something that applies to your major field of study that maybe you didn't previously know, and it was presented to you in class, and you're like, wow, that's really cool. And maybe it's something that had nothing to do with your major at all. Anybody have anything they want to share in that regard?
I'll go first. It was nothing that I learned in class, no offense. But the sense of community. So our program's mainly online, so I kind of felt alone and not having that college life that all my friends are having. But once I got invited into Psych-Hi, and I started going to the meetings and meeting students that are going through the exact same thing I'm going. It just made me want to work harder in my classes. So community is important. Having friends is important. So that's what I have to say.
Great observation. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark.
Okay, for me, I would definitely say the biggest thing I've learned throughout my academic journey here at TAMUCT is probably like mind over matter to like an extreme degree, meaning like how I mentioned how before I was out of school for a while and came back, I feel like I could be like the smartest person in the world, but I still wouldn't have been able to get through college, mostly because of the need to connect with people. I feel comfortable getting through school and feeling like, you have what it takes to be able to do everything you need to do to be able to get through college. And I want to first of all give a big shout out to the Warrior Center, because I know, like coming back to school, I wasn't sure how that was going to be. So I felt like there was so very little that I knew and understood to be able to get through college again. And I'm actually a pretty good student. Like, I feel like I could get, I could get all A's easily throughout all my classes, but I kind of struggled with like feeling as if I could do that for a while. But I went to different events, like with Chad at the Learning Center. I was able to like get a feel for how it is to do essays again, and I started going to like SWAC with Ron. They helped me out a lot. And I also want to give like a big shout out to like Eddie, one of the old peer mentors who doesn't work with us anymore, because he was a big help for me too. Where like sometimes, like you mentioned how it's important to have friends and people to talk to. Sometimes you just need somebody to like listen to like what you've done, what you've been through, and like just know that like you're not alone, and like you really can get through. You can get through college and anything else that you need to. So like before, I felt like I was someone who couldn't even make it through college, but now thanks to like all the help with the resources and the workshops and like all the people here you can talk to on campus, like I feel like basically there's nothing I can't do at this point anymore.
Well said, well said. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. I think what I'd say is kind of piggybacking off of that. What Mark mentioned about having the support here is definitely true. One of the things I think I realized about my academic career when I first started trying to get it started again, there's a quote by the good comedian Chris Rock about him trying to start his career having a very unreliable vehicle in the Los Angeles area, breaking down a lot, and just commenting that he noticed one thing about when you're broken down on the side of the highway, which is if you stood there and he just waved at people, often nobody came. But if you just threw it in neutral and got the front door open and started pushing, somebody stopped and got on the other side and helped him push that car. And I think that's very true for life. People want to see you trying to help yourself first. But a lot of the time, once you can do that and you can start, even though, yes, it is sometimes isolating or lonely, you will find those people and you'll find your community, and it does take a village, and we have that here.
Awesome.
One impactful thing I've learned is that when approaching long-term academic goals or long-term goals in general, it's better to pace yourself and treat it like a marathon rather than a short-distance sprint. That's been something impactful. Dr. Hemis taught me that during an advising session, of all things. So that's it.
All right. I'm behind on my slides here. There we go. Need to get caught up in terms of that. Only 2 more questions. So we see Dr. Rhodes sitting over here, and he's going to come up and share some good things with us today. But let's pretend that you get to take his place for one day. So tell us some wonderful things that you would implement in your one day as president of A&M Central Texas. We'll start with Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I mean, initially, just if we're having a fun answer, Chick-fil-A on campus, right? I mean, if we're, I don't know if I had another answer. That might also be my
That's a good one.
serious answer.
That could be a good, serious answer.
Obviously, as a student, I would, yeah, just say we're breaking ground on 5 new buildings tomorrow. Like, let's get this thing off the ground. That's my answer.
Good answer.
Well, after raising the pay of the student workers, one day is not a lot of time, but I would do whatever I could in that one day to try to get some foreign language programs for our university, and doctoral programs would be great too, preferably for history first.
All right.
So I say psychology first, but maybe at the same time, So if we're starting with a funny answer, I personally want to do that course in the back, and I heard only certain people can do that. So I'd have an open field day where we could all go try and do that course, of course with waivers. We would sign waivers. But I think we have a great foundation here, so I would just want to build up on what we already have. So mental health and wellness, we could add more resources or just make our students more aware of the resources that we have here. I know we did do a career fair, just build on that and have our students meeting these employers, because college is hard, but trying to get out of college into a job seems a little harder. So that's what I would do.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I would definitely say more than anything, probably awareness, more awareness for like the different things here on campus, and then also like the events that come up. Because like I know a lot of the time like there will be like an event that will come up and I show up for, and like I feel like it's like the first time that I've heard about it, but then like apparently it's been around for like 3 years or something like that, and like for example, I guess this event today, I didn't actually know student convocation was a thing until last month, and I guess also just being aware of like the different organizations and stuff that are here on campus, like the different departments and the different resources that we have here on campus. I realize there actually is a lot that we have to offer that can help people, but of course, before they can be used to help people, people have to know that they exist to reach out to them. So I definitely think awareness is probably the number one thing.
Great, thank you. I appreciate all those comments. We'll get to work on Chick-fil-A. I know that's kind of important. We'll see. Last question. You know, y'all sit here, you'll be graduating shortly, and that's going to be an awesome day. Walking across the stage, somebody in your family will be blowing an air horn. You know, you'll have something fancy on the back of your mortarboard. So great day is coming, but that's not really the end, that's the beginning of what you're going to go and do now with the degree that you've acquired here. And maybe it's on to graduate school, maybe it's something else, maybe you're going to start your own business, whatever that might be. So let's just, let's think big here. And we'll put this in a time capsule and we'll invite all of y'all back in 10 years and tell us. So where are you going to be in 10 years based on what you think right now? What seems like something where you'd like to be? We'll start with Mark.
Okay, sir. For me, like I'm big into like math, problem solving, and I love computer science and programming. So for me, I definitely want to go in the like machine learning direction, specifically for things like computer graphics, because I also have like a strong love for like more artsy stuff and just like how pretty some pictures can look online. And I want to be able to like combine like my love for like math, problem solving and all that with working with like imagery and graphics and everything like that. So I definitely see myself working on that kind of stuff in 10 years.
Okay, Tyler?
I will be going to get my master's, so once I'm done with that, hopefully taking the degree and everything that I've learned here in my classroom and in just knowing all of you guys and going into my career, whether that be play therapy or just working in the school system with children and just building my life.
Great.
10 years from now, I hope to be in a library reading or in an archive. I don't really know where I'll be 10 years from now, but so long as I'm able to go to a library and read, I'll be okay with that. So,
Awesome.
that's all I have to say.
That money you promised him worked.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is feeling like more and more aspirational of a goal in Texas, but I hope to be closing on my my ranch, a piece of property
Awesome.
that I can call my own and maybe raise a family on and have, yeah. So have that, have my compound.
That sounds wonderful. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
You are excused. Thank you. Appreciate y'all coming. I don't know what to do with these, Vicki. I don't know about you. I love hearing from our students and hearing about their dreams and aspirations. It makes me feel young again, and that kind of helps to reinforce why we're here and why we do what we do every day. So good stuff. Okay, so I held up my end of the bargain, and now I'm going to turn it over, and I'm just about right on time, to Dr. Rhodes and let him do his part. So thank you very much.
Well done. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, class? You know, my favorite part of Convocation is actually the student voice, the wisdom of the student voice. And that's what you got to hear today. You know, and Dr. Jones said one thing, and that is, you know, the why. And that's the most important question. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. Why are we here? And so that is exactly why we're here. So congratulations, students. Thank you. Okay, I have the honor of announcing the Torch Award recipient. And we have kept this quiet. It has been by nomination through the Staff Association. And so I am going to read a couple of sections that were from the nominations for this individual. And I will, throughout my reading of these recommendations, I will try to keep it a secret as long as I can. I will give you 3 hints throughout the reading that I do here that will give you a clue as to who it might be. So let me start with this. This is the Torch Award. And Ruben's going to help me here in a minute. He's got the award back there. So I will read a couple of sections from the nominations. This past semester, this person has exemplified the highest standards of honor through their unwavering integrity, strong ethical principles, and steadfast commitment to excellence. Despite the added responsibility of stepping into lead of this department office in the absence of a director, this person has carried themselves with grace, professionalism, and a deep sense of accountability. This person became a trusted pillar within their department, balancing operational duties, staff support, and student advocacy without compromising their values of the quality of service provided. This person's peers and colleagues across campus deeply respect this person for their honesty, transparency, and consistent follow-through. This person models ethical leadership in every decision ensuring compliance, fairness, and student-centered practices, even in challenging circumstances. This person's ability to lead with humility, remain grounded in purpose, and inspire others through their actions is a true reflection of honor at TAMUCT. This person consistently demonstrates an unwavering commitment to serving our, and here's the first clue, our military-affiliated students with empathy, respect, and professionalism. Second clue, she takes the time to truly understand their unique needs and concerns, ensuring they feel supported and heard throughout their academic journey. Beyond her direct work with students, this is the third clue. Kim also leads by example, coaching and mentoring her team to approach each interaction with the same level of care and dedication. Her thoughtful guidance has fostered a culture of service, excellence within her department, making a lasting impact on both students and staff alike. Kimberly Washington, could you join me up here? Congratulations, Kim. Torch award. Okay. Do we have a camera anywhere? Oh, there it is. It's back there. Okay. All right. You want to say anything? Okay.
So I'm not a big speaker.
Okay.
And actually I have stage fright. And
You're supported.
but I feel very supported. I want to thank everyone that nominated me for this. I truly, truly, truly care about what I do and the people that I impact, from students to staff, faculty, basically everyone that I've came in contact with. So I very, very much appreciate this, and thank you guys for this award. Thank you.
As some of you know, we changed the Torch Award this year, hoping to garner more nominations. It's always been an afterthought. It's been hidden down in the department ever since COVID. Previously, Dr. Mark did present it in the lobby of Founders Hall. But we spoke with Dr. Rhodes, and he agreed that it should be recognized at Convocation. And in doing so, we have created a perpetual plaque. It's blank because we're working on the names. It wasn't documented very well. There is a parking spot. And it's central to all three buildings, so if you win, it'll be the closest to all three buildings here, B1 in this parking lot here. And we have created the perpetual flame. The current winner will get to keep this in their office during their tenure, and then moving forward, Kim will get to present it to the next Torch Award recipient.
Have you got it?
Don't drop it.
Yeah, yeah. Whoa.
You got it? All right. You want to get her picture? And we'll take it back and get it to your office.
Okay. All right. We got it. Thanks. Well, congratulations, Kim. Okay, this is new. As you know, we did a strategic plan. And one of the things I wanted to do is get everything that's included in the strategic plan on one page and have it be visual. And so we did this, and where's everybody in the marketing department that helped pull this together? Jonathan? Okay, team, stand up and take a bow. Thank you. You know, what I like about this is, and let me just tell you, I will admit, I am proud of what's known as the CASE methodology. Copy and steal everything. So this is not my original idea. I serve on another board of a university, and they incorporated this. They just started this, and something very similar to this with strategic plan. And so I thought, we just finished ours. Let's do the same thing. So I copied it. But, the interesting thing about this is, number one, you can use this every time you have a meeting, just as a reminder that this book that we did, we went through a year and a half to pull together a strategic plan for this institution. It's not something we stick on, in a bookcase, on a shelf, and forget about it. It's something that has to be alive and well in every conversation that we have. And what I love about it is it tells the why, the what, and the how for who we are. So the why is, why do we exist? And that is our vision at the very top, and it points to the future. And that is Texas A&M University Central Texas will be a national leader in assisting students in earning high-quality credentials that lead to educational, economic, social, and personal fulfillment. That is the why. That's why we're here. So the what is Texas A&M University Central Texas empowers students through innovative education and transformative experiences, fostering personal growth, economic mobility, and lifelong success in a supportive environment. That's the what. That's what we're going to be doing to make sure. Now, how do we go about making sure that we can do that? We've got the pillars. And the pillars are through academic excellence. And if you go back and read through this, there are some very specific things that we are to do in order to make that happen. Student success, employee experience, community collaboration, and awareness. But all of that is based on a foundation, which are called our values. And you can see our values of integrity, innovation, creativity, excellence, caring support, and community connection. So why do I start with this? Is because this is a living part of Texas A&M University Central Texas. And this is what we have to always keep in focus and in mind. So when I talk to you about what happened during the legislative session, what's the outcomes of that, how do we allocate the dollars that came as a result of the legislative session, all of that allocation has to tie back to this. Okay? So now I am going to move, but this is available for you, so if you want to use it for departmental meetings or whatever, I would encourage you to do that because it's a good reminder for all of us on a routine basis to come back to this, to know exactly why we exist, what it's about, and how we're going to go about doing it. So during this 89th legislative session, I will tell you that we benefited better. It was not a good session. Let me just tell you this to begin with. It was not a good session for universities. For a number of different reasons, some of it has to do with the political environment that exists today. It was not a good session. However, I have to tell you that Texas A&M Central Texas came out of that session percentage-wise as a budget increase that you'll see here, better than any of the other universities in the system and most of them in the state of Texas. As a percentage of our budget, the increase. Why was that? We had strong growth. From base year to base year, how many of you know what a base year is? Okay, most of you, but let me just take a quick break here because I will probably go over time. Dr. Jones said that he starts on time, and it's up to me to try to make us come out of this early. That may not happen. But a base year actually it's every other year. It starts after the 12th class day of the spring semester of even-numbered years, and it includes every enrollment after that period of time, all of the credit hours after that period of time for the summer, the fall of the even-numbered year, and then the spring semester up through the 12th class day of the odd-numbered year. And that is what's called the base year. So from base, and our legislature meets every other year, so they take that base year, and that's what our appropriation is based on. So we had around 21% growth from base year to base year in credit hours. That was, as a percent, that was the highest, I think, in the system. And that really helped with the top line item called state funding. So the 1.47 million that we got was primarily due to that reason. Then we also got, because the state funds part of the benefits for our employees, we also got an additional $700,000. And then we got a new separate line item appropriation that we went to the legislature for and asked for something different and special, just for us. And that is called, up here it says MTP, Military Talent Pipeline. And the purpose of, oh yeah, go ahead, Crystal. Cheer us on. You know, the purpose of that is we have somewhere around, and General Funk, you can correct me, but we've got around 1,200 to 1,500 soldiers who exit the military through Fort Hood and go back into civilian service life on a monthly basis. That's how many on a monthly basis transition out. It is up to us because they are our partner. We are in collaboration with them. It is up to us to help make sure that we can make a smooth transition for those soldiers and their families who are transitioning out. So the Military Talent Pipeline was intended to do primarily that, and that is why Scott, you met earlier, has come on board to help move us in that direction. So that basically is the state funding. Tuition, then, there is of our tuition that we collect, a certain portion of it is considered state tuition, and other is called local designated. And what we do is take a look at what we've collected in the past and use that as kind of a marker for where we think we're going to be going. So total new revenues as a result of the legislative session, $4.475 million. So that's a new revenue. Yeah, Crystal, go ahead, clap. Now then, I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. It's a little more complex, but I'm going to simplify it and say, okay, how are we going to use the new dollars? So we went out and we had departments and areas throughout the college to actually request what are their needs. So total needs that was requested, and this is by the categories of our strategic plan. Okay? So what was requested under those, we did combine two of those categories, community collaboration and awareness. You know, as we worked through it, it was kind of hard to separate those out because they overlap. But the request totaled $2.284 million. And we did not, we said, do not request compensation increases. That'll be considered separately. I don't include benefits increases. That's going to be considered separately because that's funded by the state. But what do you need? $2.284 million. So in the allocation from those requests, then we took a look at that and had to make some tough decisions. But we use this as the guide on how we do that. And so under academic excellence, $214,000 was paid out of what's called ENG, the state education and general funds, the state local funds. But because we got the military talent pipeline, it allowed us to include some additional faculty that had been requested in certain discipline areas. So another $825,000 was included that. So under academic excellence, from our strategic plan, $1,039,000 was included in this coming budget. Now, let me just say, it is a budget right now that's been proposed to the Board of Regents. The Board of Regents meet on the 27th and 28th of this month to approve the budgets for all of the institutions in the Texas A&M system. So it has not been approved yet, but we believe that it will be. So under student success, $305,000 was requested. We have included $120,000 in that. I'm going to come back to employee experience. Community collaboration and awareness, $467,000 requested, $151,000 funded. And then under employee experience, that's where I'm going to get back to compensation. One of the things that was actually recommended in here, and I will go back and read it for you. Under employee experience, it says, the university will fully adopt a more comprehensive and competitive compensation plan reflective of the region and industry by September of 2027. Because we had a good year, we decided to move that up and not wait through 2027, but to try to do what we needed to do this year. And so we have included in this $1.3 million of the $1.883 million. 1.3 is in compensation to our faculty and staff, which is the largest compensation increase in the history of our 16 years at Texas A&M University Central Texas. Also included in that is the $700,000 in increase in benefits paid for by the state. So that is how it's being allocated. Now, if you go back to the previous, you will see that we've got $4.4 million of new funds. We've allocated $3.193. But what you'll see over here is some of that $1.3 million is dependent on tuition. It's dependent on the numbers of students that we continue to get. So we need to continue to grow in order to see those funds in actuality. So that is kind of a highlight, an overview, and I tried to make it, like I say, as simple as possible because believe me, Todd gets into a lot of details on that. And it can be very complicated when you go through it. But I wanted to make sure you knew that. We want to be transparent with you on what happens and what the result of the legislative session is and how we are going about the allocation and staying true to exactly what we told you we would do is we would allocate dollars based on what's been recommended through our strategic plan. Now, one of the things, I'm gonna move to some other things for you. One of the things that's going to happen, an outcome of this legislative session, is then the governor, along with the lieutenant governor and the Speaker of the House, come up with interim studies that are going to take place. A few years ago, an interim study was put together for community colleges to take a look at how state funds would be allocated to community colleges based on performance measures. So In the interim session, so between now and the start of the next session, there's going to be a group that begins to take a look at universities and what performance measures should be used to evaluate and to allocate some of the funding from the state to universities throughout the state of Texas. Now, whether you know it or not, we are different than any other university in the state of Texas. We do not admit freshmen and sophomores. So one of the metrics that you will usually hear about is, what is your graduation rate? How many of you know how a graduation rate is calculated? Graduation rates for universities and colleges are calculated, they started as a result of looking at student athletes. And that was the genesis of this term called graduation rate. It was first time, full-time, fall semester entering students at a university. We don't have any first-time, full-time, fall semester entering students at Texas A&M University Central Texas. Our students are transfer students. So when you talk about a graduation rate, we don't count. We would not be included in that. So what are the right metrics for Texas A&M University Central Texas as opposed to the other universities in the state of Texas? What should we look at? What should we be interested in to define student success? When we think about all of these students who come to us with dreams, with hopes, what is it that we need to measure ourselves on to make sure we're staying true to what I just talked about earlier, our vision, our mission, and the pillars of success? So we've come up with some ideas and recommendations that we will give to this study group to say we're different and you've got to look at us different. And we should be evaluated against ourselves based on what's important to us for the success of our students. And so one of them is, you think about the trajectory of a student coming here and going through. So they transfer to us. What's important? Well, number one is they need to complete the courses they enroll in. So we want to take a look at course completions. And that is, and then can you break it out and say, we want to take a look at different aspects of course completion. So was it a face-to-face class? Was it a hybrid class? Or was it an online class? And is there a difference in the success rate of course completion in each one of those modalities? Also, economic status of our students. So those students who qualify for Pell Grants, is there a difference in their success rate as opposed to those who did not qualify for Pell Grants? So economic status is another differentiator to say, is there a difference? If so, we need to know. Military affiliation, 51% of our student population is called military affiliated. 4% of our student population currently is active duty, and the remainder of that 51%, so 47%, is almost a balanced mix between veterans and family of veterans and active duty. So is there a difference for those who are military affiliated, and why is that important? Because those, especially when we talk about the active duty and their families, a lot of them come here for 2 years and then they're gone. They go somewhere else. So what happens? That's important for us to know. Can they stay with us? Because we do have robust online course modality. So can they stay with us even though they're not here in Fort Hood? So it's important for us to understand the military population. And then students can come to us with 30 hours, credit hours, so they can be co-enrolled. They're still going to have to take the other 30 hours at a community college. It is important for us to know if they came to us with 30 to 44 hours, how did they do in passing their classes? Or if they came with 45 to 59, how did they do? Or if they came with 60 or more, an associate degree, how did they do? We should know that. We should understand our students and what's important, because if we're going to make the changes to make it better for our students, we have to know what the data say. Another one, persistence rates. And what we're calling persistence rates here are they enroll in one semester, are they back the next semester? So if they enroll in the fall, are they back with us in the spring? And that's the persistence rates. It is important for us to know if they started with us as a full-time student, were they still with us the next semester? But many of our students, and most of our students, start with us as a part-time student. Are they back with us the next semester? Is there a difference between full-time students and part-time students? Is there a difference, Pell eligible, non-Pell eligible? Is there a difference between those who are in the military and those who are not? Those are important questions for us to ask. Is there a difference? And then retention rates. So not just semester to semester, but a student comes to us in the fall semester. Are they still with us the following fall semester? So 1 year later, are they still with us? And we look at the same breakdown. So in that cohort where they first came to us, were they a full-time student or were they a part-time student? So we still need to take a look at the whys and what happens. Is there a difference? And then we look at graduations. And I don't like to put graduation rates, although it's in that one sentence. But we need to look at when they transfer to us, how many hours did they have at the time of transfer? And did it make a difference if they were co-enrolled students or if they had already finished all of their core courses and all of their lower division coursework? Then look at the cohorts, full-time versus part-time, when they first started with us, Pell eligible, military affiliation. And then what has become obviously clear in the legislative discussions, especially when we took a look at what happened in community colleges, is what were their areas, what were the majors? And I can guarantee you they will require us to take a look at high demand workforce fields. That is important to the legislature. And if we don't capture the data, they'll tell us to capture the data. It is important for us to know. And then the last is time to degree for degree completers. So that's why we break it out full-time versus part-time. Because how many of those students, once they transfer to us, are going to actually complete their bachelor's degree in 2 years after they come to us? How many in 3 years, 4 years? And so when you hear graduation rates at a state level, they usually refer to 4-year graduation rates and 6-year graduation rates. And again, I will tell you, that's not us. But we do need to know, with what they came to us with, how successful were they 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, and 6 years later. So those are some of the things that we're looking at that should be of interest to every one of us to make sure our students have the opportunities to be successful. The next slide, where's Corinne? Corinne, stand up and take a bow. She has worked to put together the first President's Report for the university. It came out It was not by accident that it came out during the legislative session. All of our legislators got that report. Why is that report so important? It is important because it has student stories. You know, you can give legislators all the data you want, but behind the data are faces, real people. And what legislators need to see and have in their hands are the stories of our students, because that's what grabs the heart. And it's oftentimes what grabs the heart that changes the legislation. And that's why I love that president's report that came out, is because of the student stories. Now, we are about to issue, in October, I think, our first college-wide magazine. And that will have a lot of student stories, but it'll have stories about faculty and staff. I mean, it will be something to make sure that we continue to go back to this document. And when we talk about awareness, how can we make people in our community, in our state, at the legislature, in business and industry, how can we make sure that they know we exist? You know, oftentimes we say we are the best kept secret. We don't want to be the best kept secret. We want to be the best known higher education deliverer of education in the state of Texas. You know, so if we go back to our vision, we're talking about nationally recognized, and that's where we want to be. But in awareness, and when we talk about community collaboration, that's why these are important. That's why we need to do this and share it. I will tell you that when we started sending out the president's report, I got calls from around the country that I had no idea they had even gotten a copy of it. Because we did not send it to them. But they got it from other sources. I went to a Board of Regents meeting, and I had the other presidents coming up and say, oh, God, that was a great president's report you guys did. That's important. It's important for regents, legislators, business and industry, community. We have to be the known entity. And that's why that's there. Now, I want to get back to the why. You know, and we've had a couple of video segments that have been on national TV over the last year and a half. Some of you may have seen them, some of you may not have. But it's two of our students that were highlighted on national media. And so let's play those two segments real quick.
Now to Texas, Karen wrote in and said, "Dear David, there's a story about a former Houston cop who ran out of things to read during COVID and decided to finish his undergraduate degree 50 years after he first started it."
This is not a burden for me. This is a pleasure.
Charles Simmons.
When he walked across the stage at Texas A&M Central Texas in May, Chuck Simmons became the oldest graduate in school history at 79 years old. He got his degree in criminal justice. Now he's taking master's courses in Homeland Security. He plans to volunteer his time as a court-appointed special advocate for neglected or abused children.
I've never known, David, where life will take me, to be honest. I never knew I would be here. I never knew I'd be a policeman. I never knew anything I was going to do. But I want to encourage my grandkids, my great-grandkids, people that are older people, younger. You can do it, and there's many ways.
It's Monday, and that means it's time for Begno's America, where CBS News contributor David Begno finds the heart in each and every story. This week, we are continuing our beloved Dear David month. July is dedicated to stories submitted to David by viewers just like yourself. Here's David.
Well, good morning. Come with me to Texas for our first story. Jessica Caldwell cleaned classrooms as a custodian by night, and by day she would study, all while raising 4 kids. Now, 11 years later, she holds 4 degrees. And you know what Jessica proves? Dreams never sleep. For more than a decade, Jessica Caldwell cleaned classrooms overnight at A&M Central Texas University. She scrubbed toilets, vacuumed floors, and walked more than 26,000 miles behind a custodian's cart. But the 38-year-old mother of 4 had her heart set on graduating from college and teaching one day. So when her shift ended at 5 a.m., Jessica juggled caring for her children and college courses.
I was in charge of cleaning the classrooms in 2 of the buildings out of the 3 that we have at A&M Central Texas. A couple of them actually have computers in them, so I was actually able to work on my homework during my lunch break and whatnot.
And during the day, she sat in the very same classrooms that she cleaned at night. But her work schedule made it nearly impossible for her to complete a traditional teaching degree. So with some help from the university and her professors, she found a workaround. And the secret to her grit might be somewhat surprising.
I'm trying to give myself grace as far as finishing stuff. Because at the end of the day, I'm not quitting.
Jessica received her bachelor's and then her master's, all while working full-time as a custodian.
Just be persistent as far as continuing on something that you want to achieve. Just keep at it and don't stop. A lot of people that have a job that they think that they don't matter in, they actually do really matter. I know a lot of people, when they hear, oh, you're a janitor, you're a custodian, they kind of like look down on that. I just want people to realize, like, it doesn't matter what kind of job that people might look down on, you do matter. It doesn't run without us, really.
Well, now she is one step away from earning her teaching credentials later this year. She's going to go from cleaning those classrooms to leading them.
Now, you may ask, how did those stories get on the David Begno? Again, Corinne, stand up and take a bow. I think she pestered the heck out of David Begno and has become his best friend, I think, as a result of that. So thank you. Thank you. Also, join me in saying happy birthday to Corinne. Also, today is her birthday. So I am going to end early, but I am going to end with a quote from one of my favorite books. I read it for the first time about almost 25 years ago. And I pulled it back out this past weekend and read it again. It is a book called Tuesdays with Morrie. How many of you have read Tuesdays with Morrie? If you haven't, I strongly encourage you to do it. It is about an old man, a young man, and a life's greatest lesson, but it's really about a teacher and a student. And so 2 quotes that I'm going to read you out of this are 2 that really mean a lot to me and has over the years. So this is quoted out of one of the chapters. So many people walk around with a meaningless life. They seem half asleep even when they're busy doing things they think are important. This is because they're chasing the wrong things. The way you get meaning into your life is to devote yourself to loving others, devote yourself to your community around you, and devote yourself to creating something that gives you purpose and meaning. And when we think about our strategic plan, and we think about purpose, and you look at the stories, you listen to our students, how can you question our purpose? Our purpose is meaningful. It makes a difference. And the last quote is the last paragraph in this book. And it's dedicated, I would say, to teachers. Have you ever really had a teacher, one who saw you as a raw but precious thing, a jewel that with wisdom could be polished to proud shine? If you are lucky enough to find your way to such teachers, and you will always find your way back. Sometimes it is only in your head, sometimes it is right alongside their beds. And just to describe that, Maury was dying of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. He knew he had a short lifespan. And just to give you a brief glimpse, Mitch Albom, who is the author of the book, was a student at Brandeis University, and Maury was his professor. And this was back in the 1970s. And they developed a really good relationship, and Maury really invested in Mitch Albom. And so they had meetings outside of class, usually on Tuesdays. And then, like a lot of students, you know, they graduate, they go into the work world, they kind of forget about that professor for a while. Well, it was, I think, like 20 years. And all of a sudden, Mitch was thumbing through the TV, and he happened to see Nightline with Ted Koppel. And Ted Koppel was doing an interview with Maury because he had gotten some information about Maury was dying and with ALS, and kind of doing a story, started out a story of thinking about death and how do you deal with knowing that you have a limited life left. Well, Mitch Albom saw that and said, you know, that guy was the best teacher I ever had. He invested in me. So he goes to visit him on a Tuesday, and every Tuesday after that, he would fly in specifically to meet with Maury as he is dealing with death. And so this is the concluding paragraph and the conclusion of the book. And then he says, the last class of my old professor's life took place once a week in his home by a window in his study where he could watch a small hibiscus plant shed its pink flowers. The class met on Tuesdays. No books were required. The subject was the meaning of life. It was taught from experience, and the teaching goes on. That, my friends, my colleagues, and my warrior family, that is what we're here for. That is our why. And I just say congratulations to all of you for what you have done for our students and will continue to do for our students in the future. And have the best semester, the best year ever, and God bless you all. Oh, the principal is here. Where is she? Okay. We move faster. So thank you. And we are going to try, I think last year we had 123 books to another school, but for your school, we're going to beat that.
Yes.
We are competitive.
Yes. Thank you so much. We're grateful.
Thank you. Okay, that is the conclusion. We are early by 25 minutes. Oh, thanks.
We're a good tag team, I think.
Yeah, that
we did good.
That went well. Thank you.
It went really well, too. Did you see these things?